That's on the one. That's your Bolger, ladies and gentlemen, the man himself. Thank you.
Dasher, I'm overjoyed that you've agreed to do this interview because yourself, your great friend Rocky Mills, Rocky did it too, and I think regarding the history of the music scene in Waterford, you're two very important people, you know, because you pursued your musical, your love for music, and you went on, and the two of you around, and especially you, Dasher, and that for so much charity work that you did. I know you played in the band, but the amount of charity work that you did is just phenomenal. You know what I mean? And I think everybody, because you mentioned Dasher Bolger, everybody says exactly the same. You say the same about Rocky. It was a gentleman. And well, anyway, Dasher, up to recently, I didn't know what your first name. I always knew it was your Dasher. So do you want to reveal your name?
Yes, Frank Dasher Bolger.
Brilliant. And the names of your parents, Dasher?
Hannah and Richie Bolger, Griffiths Place.
Right. What did your father work at?
Father worked as a foreman at the Jew factory.
And your mother?
The mother was a mustard champion years ago.
Irish dancer?
Irish dancing.
Did she give up work? I suppose she probably had to give up work.
She
became a house mother.
Yeah, keep going, you know.
Yeah. And Dasher, were you born at home or were you born in a hospital?
Damn it, I don't really know. I'd say I was born. I was born in Steepfield anyway. I don't know.
Yeah. And your grandparents
was Frank Roach and Annie Roach.
Okay,
That was the grandparents.
Yeah. How many were in your family, Dasher? How many brothers and sisters have you?
Yeah, Richie. We had 3 brothers, 3 sisters.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
And Did you say you lived in not Sleeve Keel? Where did you live, Dasher, then? When you were young?
When we were young, we were down Sleeve Keel for a while. Then we moved up the top of the road and up Sleeve Keel, up that area, up around the sports field.
Yeah.
We lived up there for a while, you know.
Right,
and
okay.
So then when we all got a bit older, we moved out of there and we went back up the road again, up to Griffith's Place.
All right. Well, they're a nice little house up there.
No, sorry, not Griffith's Place, but the Anthony Elliott's house on the corner there.
Oh, it's right, I know it.
We went in there first, and we went in, when we came out of that, we went back down the road again. And when the fella sold the shop, when the fella bought the shop at the time, we had to move back up again to 59 Griffith's Place.
All right, okay.
You see, so
you
we're Griffith's Place all our life.
Yeah, yeah.
You know.
Yeah. But Dasher, tell me this, when you were young, right, would that have been in Sleeve Keel, or would it have been up in one of the other places?
Steve Keel, I'd say, mostly,
Yeah.
when he was young.
Can you remember, did you have an inside or outside toilet?
Outside, Dermot.
Outside toilet, yeah. And was it the same up in Griffith? Did you have an outside toilet in Griffith Place too?
At the start we hadn't, no, we had to go on the outside.
You had an outside toilet?
We had to go outside at the time.
All right, okay, yeah.
Well, we went up to the corner house and then the fella built on the back.
Yeah, yeah. It was hard on a cold night, Dasher, getting out of bed and going down.
Dermot, it's hard getting out of bed at 3 o'clock in the morning, frighten your life.
Yeah.
You know, you don't want to tap you on the back.
Oh, Dasher, we had, you didn't have to have the answer that we had. We had a pot under the bed, and we'd have to, well, what we used to do, Dash, was put it out the skylight in Dial Street. You didn't bother bringing it down in the morning.
Hey, Dermot, there were the days. There were
Yeah.
some days altogether. I really enjoyed them days because you were growing up, and at the time we had nobody.
Yeah.
We're all kind of, I mean, you went out to the dances in the Olympic years ago. We come home, no lights.
Yeah, exactly.
And we were frightened of hanging out and wondering, frightened of our life. You know, when you go back there sometimes.
But Dasher, do you know what really amazes me? Looking at some of the photographs there from when we were young, okay?
Yeah.
And there's a certain amount of innocence and joy on the kids' faces.
There's no doubt in the
Kids
world
the same age nowadays, surly faces on them. You're going around the big, sad, surly, angry faces on them.
When we were all young at the time, up in this place, I had to speak about Billy Howden and all the crowd, and we'd sit out on the footpath, and we'd have a game of cards, and Billy was a great character. Billy was a lovely fella, and I remember one day a fella gave me a black eye, a hard man, I think we used to call him, you know, and Billy came along and said to me, "Who'd that fella hit you?" That's you know, and Billy's coming up the road there now. Billy, I won't say Billy, don't you? Your man wasn't seen again anyway. But them days were great. Everybody, you went to everybody's house. Yeah. There's no such thing as the door was open for everybody.
It was, yeah.
I went to such a person and we'll have a cup of tea, or that kind of area. But there were brilliant people all together.
Can you remember, Dasher, was the tap inside or outside in your house? They were relatively new houses, weren't they?
Yeah,
up Clifford Place.
No, I don't know. I think there's outside.
Yeah. Ours was outside too.
It was outside, yeah.
Dasher, so growing up, where did you go to school, Dasher?
I went to Mount Sion.
Same as myself.
Would
you say, Dasher, you liked school or you didn't like school?
I didn't. It was hard at that time because, you know, when you go to school down Mount Sion that time, you had one or two Christian brothers there, they kill you. Yeah. That'd be honest, but they're not going to, simple as that. And there's one brother there, was a smashing brother, was Brother Dowling, my great brother Dowling. Yeah. He was a smashing fellow altogether. Yeah. You know, he wasn't like, you'll always get one or two.
Oh, you will.
That'll be narky and, things like that, you know. Yeah. But I enjoyed it.
Well, I had a similar, and I tell you, Dasher, most of the people I spoke to didn't. I think there was only one chap I spoke to actually enjoyed school, you know?
Yeah.
But everybody had different experience. I'm sure you speak to 100 and 100 could say they enjoyed it. Well, I didn't. Dasher, when you were a little fella, we say, playing around the road, do you remember any of the games that you used to play?
We used to play 5-a-side on the road, soccer, you know.
Yeah.
Take a little space, the goal post be up here, and the end of the road, the other goal post be down there. And we'd have banging away for a while, a good while now, you know. And everybody on the road now, I remember Lily Howlett. Lily used to play the hurling, camogie. And Lily would come out on the road, she beat half us around the place with a hurley.
Yeah.
I tell you, that's Billy's sister.
Yeah.
And she was some woman with camogie, boy. She was brilliant.
Yeah.
There were great people up there all together.
Yeah.
When you go back and think of all the people that are gone and look around Griffith's place and see all the new people in that area now, it's amazing.
Yeah,
there's very few of them left up there now, you know.
All the streets, Dial Street was the same, Dash.
The crack was great.
Yeah, brilliant.
Remember you'd be playing ball on the road. Playing ball on the road up there one day, and one of the lads, Huey, I think Huey was his name, I won't mention his name, and I was driving, you know.
Yeah.
And I copped out right me eye. I said, here's the girls run. Yeah, man, by the bed. When I got into the house and I hid under the bed.
Yeah.
But the man, he tore the whole blaze out, caught in the raidings, a new coat he had on him. And he started roaring aboard, and the poor fucker, I pitied him, you know.
Yeah.
Him mother will kill me, he will kill me.
Was there any other games, Asher? We down the street we played Nooks and all that.
We played down the ring in Griffith's Place, where we played the soccer and we played a game of hurling and things like that, you know.
Yeah.
And the ring is still there up there, but a lot of them things were brilliant. And then you had the school teams playing. Say Griffith's Place had a team, and say Keys Road had a team, or Horn Green had a team. We'd all play together and have a crack, you know. And another place over in the, I can't think, over by the, I think of it in a minute, Dermot. I can't think of it now. But there's another place there we used to all go and hide plays, you know. It's brilliant.
Yeah. But that's what I said, every square inch, I'm always saying it, people are sick of me saying it, every square inch of ground was our playground.
Oh,
yeah. What are the kids, why are they so disruptive? Yeah. They have nothing to do. We had too much to do when we were small.
Yeah, we had
too
everything, you know.
Dasher, get on to Christmas. Can you remember Christmas when you were young?
And not too much, no, but I remember when one Christmas, all right, you get a little, you wouldn't be getting a big toy around there, you get a small little toy.
Yeah.
And you'd be like a new pin, waiting to Christmas morning, you know, and you'd see all other people. Well, a lot of poor people had no money down but then, you know. A lot of people got them, they were struggling, and you know, you'd see all those things, they make you, Jesus, I won't want to say any more about it. But there were some smashing people. That's what I get. They were great, well, them poor people, they're probably all gone now. But by Jesus, they were great people. Yeah. That's all I can say.
Can you remember any of the presents that you actually got for Christmas?
I told you, a little toy though, but that's all I got.
Very good, Dasher. Dasher, what kind of typically, if you can remember, that's kind of a one-man spring this time. What type of food did you eat? Not saying it was good food or bad food, but what type of food when you were young?
They had the best of food then, boy. You know, you go back, you'd have a bit of rib and you'd have all, you know. Yeah. The food is great. They never left you an empty stomach or anything like that. And the one thing you get before you go to bed in the night, remember it well, was a big bowl of porridge, fill you up for the day and the night. Yeah. And that was given every morning. You get a bowl of porridge in you.
Oh yeah, I remember. I remember. Yeah, I always, and I have it every morning to the present day, Dasher.
Yeah, so do I.
Every morning.
And there were some people, by they gave you everything, and they left themselves go. They left themselves down.
No doubt about
you know, we all see that, you know. But the road, Richie and all the boys up the road, you know, Martin Galvin and all them, Mull Maloney, they were all characters.
But there's very few, not that I'm aware of any, very few characters. There were great characters.
Richie went away for one weekend, with the hurling team. He wasn't seen until Tuesday morning. And he comes home, and the mother said, Richie, where's the blankets I gave you going off this morning? He was after selling the blankets on the paint. This is anyway. What
age, Dasher, did you leave school at?
I think I was 15, Dermot.
15. And
I went into the one day take.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
So-
yeah. Well, yeah. Oh, same as myself. I went into take 2.
Then
for
I
a
went
while.
to school. I went to work then at 16 years of age.
Yeah.
I went up to the Jew factory at 16.
Yeah. What was your first job, Dasher? In there.
In Jew factory.
Yeah.
I was out in the. I was doing just like a store, an extension say, and all the reels and things were there that you pull up and that.
Yeah.
And then I went into the fitting shop then. When I came such an age, I went in walking in there, so I ended up going on the fitting then for a while.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And which I didn't like anyway, down it.
Okay.
So I really enjoyed my time up here.
Yeah.
Everybody up in the Jew factory at the time, everybody was your brother or your sister.
Yeah. That's
they
great to hear that.
Yeah, they all looked after one another.
Yeah.
They were brilliant people, that's all I can say. And the money they were getting was not at the time.
Can you remember what your wages was? Your first wages?
Uh, £2.50 I think. One won't be now only £2.50 or whatever like that.
But
That's something. That's what it was.
Was money coming into the house for your mother?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? What kind of jobs? Is that the only job you had, Dasher?
No, I worked in Chapman's for a while then. That's down Georgia Street, and I worked there for I think it was 9 months or 10 months.
Right.
And a great friend of mine, I worked with me, poor Ger down, Lord the mercy, poor Ger died about a year after that, and I came along.
What do they sell down there, Dasher?
What?
What do they sell in Chapman's?
The soup, but like it went to a supermarket, cash and carry, and you get your stuff and all that kind of stuff. And they were nice people, but I didn't like it down there. It come to the end of it. I'd rather want, when they said they'll close down. So when they closed down, then I said I'll have to hang around for a few months now. And I remember saying to the father one day, I'd see somebody in Arkeen.
Yeah. And
the father told me, you have to go out now next week for an interview. And I went out. That was 1978 when I started you. 78 I went out, or 79.
Yeah.
And I got word about a week afterwards I was starting that Tuesday morning. And I can tell you one thing, it was brilliant walking out there down it.
I know you loved it.
The staff out there and the casualty staff and the staff on the night shift, the whole Miss O'Neill, a lot of them, they were all smashing people.
Dasher, you told me a story years ago, right? And that was about your man who was going out to see the specialist, and he met you before. Could you tell us that story?
What did he do?
What the specialist said to you afterwards. You said to your man, don't worry about that, that'll be such and such a thing. And he went into the specialist, and the specialist told him, and he said, Dasher Bolger told me that.
That's what that did happen, yeah. What happened?
Can you tell us?
I can't remember, I don't remember who it was,
No, I tell you, I thought that was one of the funniest things
Yeah, that's
ever.
right.
And yes, your man came along, he was going to specialist, and he was he told you what he was going to specialist about, and you said to him, that I can't even remember what it was. That's such and such a thing.
Yeah.
Don't worry about that, he said. And he went into the specialist, and the specialist said, that's such and such a thing. Don't worry about that.
Oh, that's right,
And he
yeah.
said,
I remember it now, yeah.
can you remember the specialist?
I can't remember the specialist, no.
yeah.
But that did happen.
And Dasher...
The mom was shaking outside the door, sure.
You were telling me, I think the specialist said the specialist called you in and said, what are you doing? dealing with my clients. But Dasher, you were telling me another time, because I made the stories you told me about Arkeen, absolutely. The one, but the night sister, when you were only there first, about the morgue.
Oh, yeah. I won't mention her name anymore.
Okay, yeah.
She said, she nearly retired on the edge of the time. And she said, go down, Dasher, to the mortuary. Oh, Jesus, I said, 3 o'clock in the morning, what am I going to do? So I went off anyway, and I went down. I had to go in up the inside, see everybody was all right and that. We were laid out, and go inside. And the other place, and I came back out anyway, and Jesus, I was delighted. Go back in again. What that else? So I went in anyway, and damn it, by the things I can tell you about that place up there, they're wonderful people to work with.
Right, yeah.
You know, I mean, when I started there, you had Maxie and had Bear and all the boys.
Yeah.
They were all a great bunch all together. We all worked, and Danny, not forgetting poor old Danny.
Danny Bowe. Yeah.
They were all brilliant people all together. If we're having, you know, when we had one or two strikes out there at the time, they all stood together, and that was it. If you stood away from them, you wouldn't be, you know.
Dasher, when did you drink? Did you ever drink, or did you?
I did, but I wasn't a big drinker down there, you know.
Yeah.
But I drank a few, but I didn't want.
What age would you start at, Dasher?
I say when about 21. No, I
You're not
wasn't
old, you
down
weren't.
No, I wasn't even. I was well in my 20s before I took a drink.
All right, okay.
Yeah.
And what would your favourite drink have been, Dasher?
Medics.
Smithwick's, yeah. A lovely drink,
Right,
Dasher. A lovely drink. Now, Dasher, I asked this. If you don't want to say answer this, you're okay. Do you vote?
I do, yeah.
Do you have any political preference, any political party?
No, I don't. Well, I did. The Fianna Fáil I did vote for.
Yeah. You kind of vote for the man now if you like the man. Would that?
Well, whoever I be, yeah.
Yeah, no problem. Religion, would you class yourself as a religious person, Dasher?
A bit, yeah. I go to Mass every Sunday and I don't miss Mass.
That was my next question.
Yeah.
Would you be going to confession and all that? And
Well, I won't be going to confession every. I go, but not very often, you know. But I do go to confession.
Dasher, music played a very big part in your life. Would you tell us about that?
Oh yeah, when I started at Uncle Griffith's place, Danny Bowe ran a concert one night down in Municipal. I tell you about this, but we're having a great crack, and this fella came on anyway. He's doing a spot, and the crowd didn't like him. And you know what happens then? They all start booing. And Bowe behind him, but when I go back and think about it, what we done at the time, Municipal yet was only a small place and mobbed.
Yeah.
So go back, going away from that. Then I went into music. Then I went in. After that, I came along. I was kind of in the 60s. I was kind of wasn't doing much. So I remember the Jew factory ran like tops of town, and I went into the tops of town, and I had to sing anyway. So I done two numbers, Georgie Porgy and Hucklebuck Shoes, and I said that was enjoyed it, but I got a bigger fight when I won the Adjudicators Award, a special award for it.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, in '67, and from there on down, I kind of went on, you know. In the 70s, then I started going out and hearing the groups. I wasn't singing or wasn't doing much then, and then gradually walked into the showboat. When the showboat opened, then you had like a Simon every 2 nights a week. You remember the way?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
And they were brilliant down there all together. Yeah. You know, and then that's the way I want myself up a bit, you know. And then people ask me to do, would you do this for me, Dasher? Would you do that? I never say no to nobody.
I know that.
You know, and yeah, you know, I'll do that for you. I'll come down and do it. Yeah. Even when I got sick in Arkeen at the time, and it was a poor woman out in Ballybeg, and she said, Dasher, you won't lay me down, she said, for that night. I said, I'll be out, I'll do that for you. I'll be out of hospital on Monday, I said. Yeah. And I turned up that Monday night, and I done it. Yeah. I done it with Pat Comfort or somebody else.
But you were renowned for that, Dasher. Everyone says that.
I love doing it, but people say, you know, but no, I love helping people out.
I know that.
I done the same in Arkeen, Dermot. I met people in Arkeen. I met 1 or 2 poor people that weren't well in Arkeen. Yeah. And I remember when going up again, up to Mr. Waterford, that Mr. Waterford competition. Yeah. And there was 2 people in that ward that day, and they said to me, Dasher, will you do us a favour? I will, I said. Will you come up with the rig out on you this evening before you go down? I said, I will, I said.
That's up to the ward, isn't it?
Up to the ward. And I went up and I showed them and they threw their arms around me. Yeah. One of the poor women died about a week after it was over. And another woman died shortly afterwards. Yeah. I never forget that. Yeah. Going on that stage that night and seeing, and coming back, the best part about it was coming back. And after I win it, and I had to go up to the ward again, and they threw their arms around me. God love him, you know. And you're a great man, Dasher, he said, you know. I sure I enjoyed the crack.
Cool, yeah.
You know, and Jesus, you know, yeah, so I never looked for, you know, but when you walk in a place like that, you'd have to, you have to be there to see it.
Affect you,
see it, people that are sick, and you'd go home, you're saying, the fuck, there's nothing wrong with me.
Yeah.
You know, look at that poor misfortune over the bed there. Another little story about it, Dermot. There was a little fella named Fergie out there, and he was 5 years of age.
Yeah.
And he used to call me Daddy Dasher. And this day, he used to stand out on pigs there, and he'd see the van coming along. I was driving the food van at the time. And Fergie would come in, Daddy Dasher, bring me on, and put on my lap. I put him off to the kitchen, and all the women up there were brilliant.
Yeah.
Joan Phelan and all the lads, all the women, every one of them were brilliant, you know. Yeah. And they put him in, they give him something, and the day he got sick, I was over there one day, and one of the girls came out, Dasher, we want you for a minute. They said, little Fergie is dying.
Oh God.
So I had to go in.
Yeah.
And I went in, and here he was, and he looked up, and his poor mother and father were there. I have the photograph at home there. The next time I'll show it to you. Yeah. And, well, Fergie, he just nodded his head. He died afterwards.
Did he?
Yeah, just me just by you said, what the fuck?
But Dasher, you know, the thing is, I know you probably realise it, but look at the light that you brought into that little fella's life.
Suppose
you're bringing him off on that.
I just brought him off that van every day, you know, and the people out there were fantastic too, you know, and I always said about our kind.
Now, Dasher, to be health and safety, you couldn't do that.
No, but
health and safety.
You had the kitchen staff out there, you had all the porters and the mystics a lot, and all the nurses staff. Yeah. They were all fantastic people to work for. I worked for them, and you couldn't meet nicer people.
Dasher, can you remember the first band? Who was in the band?
Yeah.
Was that the Dasher band?
Yeah, the Dasher. Hughie O'Neill, Lord of Mercy, late Hughie. Chris McKelvey was in it. John Hayes and Billy Shanahan.
All right. Yeah.
I remember the first night we started. We played in. We went off to where was it? It was out the country, someplace anyway. So the place was mobbed anyway. Up in Carrick. Up
the Kickham's, was it?
Up in Kickham's. And the place was mobbed. Yeah. And your man came up and he started airing up on me, the fella who owned the place at the time. You know.
Michael Comerford?
Yeah. You want to get him on, hang on for a minute. I only got a lift up in the van. Here van broke down the road. So we got in and we played the extra hour, whatever it was for him, you know.
Yeah.
But he was a nice fella, Mick, you know. He was a nice man. He could do business with Billy. The nice one was Billy the Ware. Yeah. And Tom Tracy. Yeah. I'll have to mention Tom and Anna, Lord of Mercy and Anna. Yeah. But I mentioned poor Billy too. And Kathleen, Billy the Ware, Ryle Oak. Yeah. They were fucking, God.
Billy Mulcahy.
They were special, they were special people. Yeah. You go out there at Christmas, don't you? Well, you do with the spot for me tonight. And they go up and you put a clabber on. And sit down there and the drink will be flowing afterwards. And on top of it, he gave you 30 quid. Yeah. And I said, Billy, I don't want that. Yeah. You take that. Yeah. You know, and poor little Anna down the shore, but she was very good to me too.
They were
Tracy,
great.
You know.
Dasher,
you meet all the people afterwards and you say, they were good to me. Yeah. They looked after me. Yeah. You know, you'd be amazed, Dermot, you know. Yeah. And I was kind of a fella, I just enjoyed it, and that was that.
Dasher, you were telling me a story once about up in St. Austin Hospital. You were doing a gig up there. Yeah. and the stage, can you tell us about that, what happened?
I can, yeah. I was up there one night and the stage was up so high. I think John Duggan and Danny Tobin were the backing group. And so I said, sure, I'll have a go. I jumped up the stage. Yeah. But I jumped up the stage and then he broke me 2 legs. And all the patients thought it was an act. And they all start clapping. So I clapped. I came up the ground that night and the whole shirt was got down there. And the whole shirt on that side was gone. And who was at the concert? And it was Mr. Watson and Dr. O'Connor. They were there. I didn't know what to do with it, I told you.
Yeah, I'll put up that photograph, Dasher, the one that of you. Not that particular stage.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
that
yeah.
was part of your act, jumping off the stage at the end of the night.
How do you
But
took a chance?
You didn't realise you were nearly 10 foot high though, and jumped up probably another 2 or 3
I've nearly
feet.
gone down below, I tell you that. But they were all them nights, you go back down and you think about it, and you say to yourself, Jesus, how did I do that? You know, and I done it for the crack and, you know, and everything like that.
Dasher, well, we're very fortunate in Waterford to have fellas like yourself, like Nick Tobin, Mr. Sheen, Johnny Lucas.
Johnny Lucas,
you know,
Johnny,
to go around, and other fellas that went around.
They're all involved here, you
fellas
know.
a bit older than ourselves.
Even poor Davy Griffin now, he does a lot awful for Davy does it for the old people now, Davy, you know.
Davy's great.
Still Davy. I have to
But,
say that about Davy.
They were absolutely brilliant times, Dasher. Well, Dasher, listen, we're more or less after covering everything. Is there any more that you'd like to join in or talk about yourself, Dasher?
No, Dermot, I don't talk about myself.
I know, but I'll have to say, Dasher,
all I can say, I enjoyed all the people that I met down 3 years. Funny me, a whole lot. They're all brilliant people, fantastic people. That's all I can say. And thanks very much. They're all great to me.
They were. And you're still sure you meet Francie Dunphy nearly every day.
I meet Francie. Yeah, that's Francie.
Go for a walk.
Francie every day.
He was the doorman down the show.
And Dick Feed and all the lads. They're all a great bunch too, you know.
Great old comrades,
And also from my sisters and my brothers.
Yeah.
And the brothers.
But you look, as you said, we were all neighbours, Asher. Sure, I worked with Richie and that in the cast and that, you know. And I would have been great friends with Eamon anyway. Your brother, and I remember the shop up above.
That's right, this place,
yeah. Times move on, Dasher.
Damn it, boy.
Anyway, Dasher, this is the reason I wanted you is that, you know, and I'm always saying it, you take the glass factory, Dasher, which is gone now.
Yeah.
Now, a friend of mine, Martin Hearn, is after writing a book about it. But it's now like the glass factory never existed.
Yeah,
you know, there are young people walking past that site down there and wondering what was in there.
Yeah.
You know, and it'll be the same. But I do know, just like Martin Hearn, and in the future, there will be people who will be doing PhDs and theses on the glass factory, right? And it's the same with the music.
Oh, the same thing.
You know, the people will be saying, when I went to the showboats, to the cabaret, you know, it's very important. And nobody, you know, well, this will make up for a little bit of it. That, you know, to us, not all bands was also people like yourself.
I want to say to yourself, just me, Maria, Eamon, Francis, and all the whole lot of them. Yeah. And I don't want to mess up on anybody. You know what you say? And that's the whole lot. I'd see them all shortly and have a great time.
But they're all. I mean, I know they're all very proud of you because Dasher, you can't go down to town. You can't go down to get a play before somebody stops you.
I know everybody. It's nice to be down with the old saying was, it's nice to be nice.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
You know, and that's why.
Well, Dasher, everyone says that about you, only.
Yeah.
Dasher's a lovely fella. You know, they don't say nice. He's lovely. Dasher Bolger, it was an honour and a pleasure to talk to you. Thanks, Dasher.
Thanks very much, Dermot.